Lovely evening, welcome. This is another episode of Sports Zone on Joy Prime. My name is Fentur. Coming up over the next 60 minutes, the Ghana Stars continue to fly atop the Ghana Premier League, but there's pressure on them from Accra Lions. We'll review this weekend's action in the Ghana Premier League. Over to Europe, Man United and Liverpool struggling, dropping points here and there. Arsenal, on the other hand, high-flying, blistering first-half performance, ensuring they restore the 5-point lead at the top of the Premier League table. It seems Graham Potter has found his magic wand. Well, 3 wins on the bounce now for Chelsea. Can we truly say they are back, or what's going on there? Also, elsewhere, there is UEFA Champions League action to come this week. We'll look at what Liverpool can do to overturn that 3-goal deficit at Real. And it's all to play for when Manchester City hosts RB Leipzig. All of that to come here on the show. Plus your messages. Last week, I asked a question and I said I was doing an academic exercise. I asked you to tell me why you no longer go for Ghana Premier League matches, or if you've never been, why have you never watched a Ghana Premier League game, or why do you not go to the stadium to watch Ghana Premier League matches? Lots of you sent in your messages. We couldn't read them. Today, I will read some of those messages to you. And for those of you that are watching us today as well, if you didn't send me, I'm still asking that question, because we are collating all of your opinions to try and find out what exactly the problems are. So why are you not going to the stadium to watch Ghana Premier League games? Or what was that one experience that made you swear never to go back to the stadium? The number is 055 11 11 997. It's a really simple WhatsApp number, so do send me a message there. 055 11 11 997. But that's not the only thing I'm asking you to do today. Of course, you can also send those messages through on WhatsApp. Use the hashtag SportsZone on Twitter. I beg your pardon. On Twitter, use the hashtag SportsZone. Retweet those messages and read as many of them as possible with the rest of our viewers. Welcome to the show. It's live and interactive, so do send me a message about what we'll be talking about here today, including Chelsea's newfound form, Man United and Liverpool's struggles, as well as Arsenal's amazing form. I'm very interested in your opinions, okay? Welcome to the show. We'll take a very, very short break. When we come back, I'll introduce my guest, and I have a very special guest here today. Of course, remember, as always, show Sports Zone and Joy Prime is brought to you by Hunters. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. My name is Fentur. Joining me tonight on the show, Citrofe Philip Achrim, as usual, a regular here. And then, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on the show, and the first of many, a very good friend and brother, Daniel Kranti. Oh, Chale!
Oh, Chale! Oh, Chale! Chale! Riri! Oh! You're overwhelming me. Oh, Chale!
Oh, man.
This is too much.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I like your smoke, the short sleeve one. It's it shows.
You told me to wear it.
Yes, and I said I like it.
Yeah.
I said you dress like Rollins. Now why said
when you say you like it, it's like you have a choice.
I shouldn't go there.
Like
Don't go there.
Who said it? Let me see.
Guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We'll begin with, like I said last week, we asked you, some of you, for your opinions as far as the Ghana Premier League is concerned and all of that. Lots of you sent in some of your opinions that I promised to share with the rest of our viewers. Remember, I said it's an academic exercise. We are all trying to find the reasons people don't go to the stadium. And most of you sent in very personal experiences. I'm just going to take just a couple of them, and then we can show you what some people are doing, because this is all connected. Because over the weekend, Senegal completed African football, and we'll show you how they did it. I've got messages here. This one is Hope from Ashaman, who says GFA is killing our football. And this one says, you guys are making my evening great. I think I'm not going to the stadium because we don't have outstanding players like Charles Taylor, Amankwa Mreku, etc. That's Castro Steve from China. Kingsford from Taifa, he says, the Bet Power League is not attractive anymore. Bad pitches, bad refereeing. The GFA only think about the Black Stars. They only get money when it's about Black Stars. Interesting point. This one says, I would rather watch championship matches on TV than go to the stadium to watch Ghana football. You don't tell me your reason. I'm interested in why. Okay. This one says, if we want supporters to fill the stadium, we need to bring the traditional clubs back. This is an argument some people have raised in the past. This one says, some fans will say they always do juju, but that's not true in my opinion. It's the traditional clubs that can sustain our league. So that's the second opinion. That's Frank from Broadcaster. Teacher Bonti says, I'm watching live from Asante Achimofwasi. He says, I stopped going to watch Kotoko matches due to the following reasons. One, e-ticketing and lack of quality players in the league. And then he says, which player am I going to watch at the Babaya Stadium? There are no players like Odro, Nana Hinja, Joe Hendrick, and the rest. Interesting. And this one says, I think I'm not going to the stadium because we don't have outstanding players like Charles Taylor. All right. And this one says, with the current situation in the country now, you can't have any money left in your pocket to go to the stadium to watch football. Unlike then. And they must also make our league attractive to watch. I've got an interesting one here. It says, you agree with me that the Ghana Premier League is so poor that nothing entices you to even watch it on TV. Talk less of going to the stadium. Apu Mela from Ashaman Katamanso. And there's a message here. It says, if the GFA wants supporters to fill the stadium, there should be trust and fairness in their discharge of duties. Why am I saying this? One, how can a whole finance minister come out and say Ezipon is over 90% renovated, and then rather than in a ditch, all the money issued to them is used for administrative purposes rather than spending it on the clubs? That's from Philip. Sandy from Nabulo in the Sisala East, he says, per my observation, the game was poorly organized and also a lot of people are losing interest in our league. I've got a very interesting one that I want to share with the rest of you. It says, my name is Ken Abora, aka Baba Ali from Ablekuma Farmer. Congratulations to House of... Okay. It says, my little advice to the Ghana Premier League is to pay the players well and we're going to enjoy good football. Somebody shared a very personal experience about going to the stadium. It says, Fencho, I had a running stomach at the Accra Sports Stadium. It was a match between Kotoko and Lagos Cities. Yeah. I entered the washroom, and that was the day I made a decision to not go to the stadium.
You don't love yourself.
To watch any match. There is no proper organization. You don't see this in any serious football country. Mickey in Amasama. Lots of your messages have coming. The number is 055 11 11 997.
Mickey's message, did he get a running stomach at the stadium?
Yes.
Or he had a running stomach and went to the stadium? Because if you had a running stomach and went to the stadium, my brother,
but how can your body even accept to have a running stadium in the stadium? Because the environment should take your stomach.
All right, guys, let's move the show along to the under-20 over the weekend. Well, Senegal, they completed football. They had already won the African Cup of Nations title. They won the under-23. They won the CHAN. Sorry, not the under-23. They won the CHAN. They watched beach ball. And this weekend, they completed it, beating Gambia in the under-20 final as well. So Senegal holding 4 trophies now from 4 different levels. It's unbelievable the success that this team or this tiny West African nation is currently recording. Sicho, let me start with you. What lessons can we pick from Senegal, basically? Because I think when they won the CHAN, we had the same conversation. When they won the AFCON, we had the same conversation. We're back to the same thing. And when they won, it's like we are going in circles. We are repeating ourselves.
Yeah, when they won in CHAN, I saw from some quarters social media posts that, all right, Ghanaian journalists are going to say Senegal are doing something right, and this is just an accident. They are just lucky. Well, I think the wiser thing to do would be for any serious football administration to want to know what Senegal are doing. Yeah. I mean, if you're at the FA level, you've got colleagues at the FA level at Senegal. There's nothing wrong. FAs always do exchange ideas. There's nothing wrong going to Senegal to learn what they are doing. Find out if it's an accident or not. Go and learn what they are doing and then carve it to suit your peculiar situation and learn from it. So you cannot just sit there and say that it's by accident that Senegal have won the AFCON, they've won the CHAN, they've won under 20. At a beach ball level, they are also winning it. Something surely is working for them. So at the FA level, you should want to learn, you should want to know, because somebody's going to say, if you're talking about Germany, it's far-fetched. That is Europe, their economy is booming, they've got money, they've got this, they've got that. That is in Africa. We've seen what Mali have been able to do at the youth level as well. Yeah. What have we learned from them? And listen, there's no one person who can sit here and not go to Senegal or Mali or these successful places to have, if you like, the document on which they are operating to learn from. You can always sit here and say, oh, they're setting up academies. How are they? You can set up academies here and still fail. Yeah. How are they setting it up? And how are they churning out talent? What kind of training? What's the structure? Who are training them? Where are they picking the knowledge from? What is the idea? Is it tailored towards the kind of talents they have? Yeah. Then you use that idea to also build yours. But when you sit and you see people getting successful and you don't want to engage them to learn, then you're not also going to improve.
It's like when you make the example, it's almost like there are people that are fighting you for looking to successful nations and comparing. It's like, what are you doing? Daniel, from your point of view, obviously, we know that for sure, success at the youth level doesn't always translate to success at the senior level. Ghana is a good example of that. Nigeria as well, the examples abound. But clearly, when there is success at every level, then surely, because, I mean, one time you can have success at youth level, and we've seen it many times, and it doesn't always translate to success at the senior level. But this is success at every level.
Yeah, look, when something like, I don't think this thing has happened before. I stand to be corrected.
I don't think so. It's not.
When something like this happens, you just know it didn't happen by chance. This is a result of proper planning. These are a group of people who have sat down, have put pen to paper on how exactly they want to go about their business, and they are reaping the fruits of it. It just didn't happen overnight. If you take their senior team, for example, this project under Aliou Cissé started, 7 years ago. Yes. They've been working towards an end. If you look at what the Senegalese have been doing in terms of youth football, setting up these academies, we've seen the products from these academies, maybe not at under 20 level, maybe not at under 17 level in terms of them winning, but we've seen them a proper conveyor belt where they are taking from youth level, and we've seen them do very well at even the national team level. So we know that when it comes to youth football, they are also taking that seriously, and finally they've been rewarded by winning the under 20. But as you and Sicho said, look, it's high time we look ourselves, and we can't have these conversations and not bring it back to here.
Of course.
In Ghana,
because we have to be jealous.
You have to want. Yeah, exactly. You have to want to what you are seeing on TV. And for me, look, we have to look ourselves in the face and start properly diagnosing what exactly our problem is. Yeah. I always say that there's no quick fix to any problem. Quick fixes don't bring sustainable results. You can go and patch up the cracks at the Black Stars level, and years later you see that your youth football is suffering, your women's football is suffering. We've reached a stage in Ghana football where everything smells. The national team is stinking at both Black Queens, Black Stars.
All levels.
You look at under 20, everything.
Black Stars,
local Black Stars. Everywhere. We are looking at this competition, this under 20 competition.
We are the defending champions
before Senegal.
We're never there.
We didn't even get to the competition.
We went to the qualifiers, and we finished bottom of our
group of 3 teams in Niger.
It's so disappointing when you look at this. And you see, I always say the same way Senegal's success hasn't come by chance. The fact that Ghana is failing everywhere is not by chance. Yes. We are clearly doing something wrong, and we need to quickly fix it before it gets worse than this, because very soon, the way we sat down there and thought that a couple of years back, 5-10 years back, we thought that making a women's AFCON was a given for us. Now we are struggling to qualify for a women's AFCON. If we don't take care, the same thing could also happen to the Black Stars.
It really could.
We didn't think Comoros could beat us, and it
exactly.
happened,
No, it really could.
And just a point.
Yeah.
as Danny mentioned, this Senegal thing, success, can't be an accident because even the national team that won the AFCON, that team went to the Olympics.
Yes.
In the UK.
Yeah.
And you could see them. They were the Saido Manes, they were young and they were building something. So it stemmed from there. And we're looking at this under 20s. And let's not be surprised if in the next 5 years, in the next 6 years, some of these names are playing in the AFCONs and qualifying them to the World Cup. I mean, Senegal was about the brightest, apart from Morocco, they were about the brightest African country at the World Cup level as well. That was without Saido Mane, certainly. So they are doing something right, which there's no shame in trying to learn from.
All right, so that's the message to Keto Krekuga and his GFA administration. I'm quite sure they have close relationship with the Senegalese. They are counterparts, of course. Ket is the president of Wafu Zombi, and so it's much easier for him to have access to these people. So why don't you pick up the phone or make a trip there? We won't blame you. Try and look at what their template is, how they're able to fuse the academy culture into coast football and how they get the success, because it's not just about the fact that there's generation foot, they're shipping up players left, right and center. We also have right to dreams. There was a point where we had as many as 6 right to dream players in our national team. So it is not an offense, or it is not, the country will still take credit even if all the talents come from academies. Have we made the environment exactly conducive for the success of academies? Wafa is literally dying. We haven't necessarily done anything to try and help them out. Some academies in the past in this country have folded up. Red Bull, they had to merge into Feyenoord to become one, and that's Wafa now, which is literally dying. Where are the other academies that we have? If you take away Right to Dreams, what other academy do we have in this country? So the environment itself, is it necessarily conducive for people to want to invest in the academy system? Because those are the questions we should be asking ourselves. And I know that these are not things that only the GFA can solve. The government needs to get involved. And we've spoken about this before. Because it is not possible. I find it very difficult that football equipment will come to the airport and the government can't come to some sort of agreement with the GFA to clear those goods at least for free, so that they can be used to be distributed into communities. Okay? So that children can have access to footballs, or is it boots, or what have you? There has to be some sort of collaboration. Or is it necessarily because maybe the GFA in the past has not demonstrated that those items are necessarily for the better good of Ghana football? We need to find that collaboration between government and the GFA, because I think ultimately that is what is needed to attain success. Because I know for a fact the GFA cannot do it alone. They can't build pitches all around the country by themselves, the GFA. They can't do that. The government needs to get involved. You understand? So that's where we are now. And like Daniel said, and we've said it many times before, we've been taking AFCON qualification for granted for many, many years at the women's level because we thought that it was a given. Now we can't even qualify. We have been doing the same for the men. Because qualifying for the AFCON is nothing. Maybe soon, if we don't take care, we could be struggling to qualify. We'll be playing prelims against Sao Tome and Principe. And then the likes of Comoros and Madagascar will be giving a bye. The situation is really that dire. Until we admit it, I don't think we're going anywhere. But let's move it on to the Ghana Premier League, another struggling product of the Ghana Football Association. Over the weekend, Hartlepool visited Bibiani Gold Stars. It was a thrilling match that ended 1-0. Let's look at the highlights. To be fair, that's a good run.
That's a good run, but we saw that similar thing happen to Matic when he came in. I think Hartlepool have fundamental problems, which come from their recruitment at the start of the season.
Yeah.
The quality of players they lost cannot be compared to the replacements that they brought in.
Okay.
And that is where the disparity is, and we are seeing it. Honestly, I feel like the head coaches who have been in charge of this team have done very well this season to be able to sustain this team so much so that they are still in the title race. Because it's basically about quality. If you compare it to Kotoko and you look at who they lost during the transfer window,
yes,
and who they brought in, there's a decent amount of quality. We've seen Mukwala this season. He's been brilliant. He's not to the level of Itugo, of course, but he's coming in.
But he has stepped up. Struggled initially,
yeah, but he's stepped up. But Hartlepool, you see, it's like two different teams. It's like two completely different teams, and it's very painful from a fan's point of view watching this, because the team has reached a new standard. And when I say a new standard, 11 years, in fact, in the past 11 years before Samuel Boadu won, Hearts of Oak were just a big team by name. But in terms of performances, they were a mid-table team. Samuel Boadu restored this team back to championship quality, where the fans now expect to be able to challenge and win the title or win trophies every season. But what are we seeing this season? They've been kicked out at home in an FA Cup game. They are struggling to sustain their title run. And Adriana is literally just running away with the title. And no disrespect to Adriana, but when you have Hearts and Kotoko chasing, you expect it to be a bit closer. You don't, in as much as BBN is a very difficult place to go to, you expect Hearts of Oak to storm there and make a good performance for themselves. Yes, they equalized in the last minute, but the past few results, the last 5 games, the points that Hearts of Oak are dropping, in
fact, in the last 7, they've won 2 matches.
And it's not enough. It is really not enough for a team like Hearts of Oak, for a team that is challenging or wants to challenge for the title. And for me, it's
not Premier League this weekend. 21 matches played so far from all of the teams. We show you some decent results. Kotoko were not involved this weekend, of course. But there you go. The match that just concluded is Accra Lions against Dreams FC. It was a thrilling 5-goal affair. Lions won 3-2. That result means that Accra Lions have now closed the gap to Adriana Stars to 2 points. Let's look at the table, of course, and then we can get confirmation there. So there you see Adriana Stars with 39 points. Accra Lions just 2 points behind. Bechem United, Hearts of Oak completing the top 4. And then you look at the bottom of the table. It's not looking good for King Faisal as well this season. Legon Cities, Tamale City, Kotoko Royals not looking good. Legon Cities, I'm not sure what's going on with Maxwell Kunedu on his team. Because
I'm worried for them.
Yeah,
I'm worried.
Because at some point last season, they had a decent run, especially towards the end.
They actually had a decent start to the season.
I actually thought, I tipped them to finish in the top 4 this season. I can't believe where they are. But there was a decent game in Tamale as well between RTU and Tamale City. Decent crowd as well.
Absolutely.
So, a great Olympics on the other hand. They drew 0-0 with Samatex. It was a homecoming for Arno Walker. He came home, got a draw. Olympics themselves struggling a little bit, but they're not in danger of being relegated for now. 4 points above the relegation zone isn't necessarily safe, but it is what it is. Anyway.
But Fen, before we move on, quickly, this thing with Slavko matches and the Ghana, Charlie, we're not a serious country. No,
give it to them. Give it to them.
Armed robber has come to my house to come and steal. I go and report to police, and police tells me not to go to my house again because they can't guarantee my safety. That's literally what they are telling me.
No, let's use your workplace instead.
They've come to my workplace to come and attack me. Say, don't go to work because we can't go. What is that? You are not fishing out. There were videos we could see. Video surfaced on social media. You could clearly see who were responsible. You could clearly see the people who were heckling him. Instead of you looking at that video, investigating, tracking down those guys and getting them behind bars or punishing them, you are telling the coach not to go to the club.
Maybe they're doing that, but in the meantime, you should stay at home.
I can just maybe understand what the police... If the police do pick an intelligence that a section or a huge number of the fan base have turned against him, then maybe they could advise him to just take a step back while they try to sort things out. Because the reason why they might not be able to guarantee his safety then is, if you're going to the training ground and somebody hits you with something, the harm might have been caused before they even intervene. So they couldn't have guaranteed his safety at the time. Because I've seen videos where the police can say, okay, we'll protect you, but you'll be hurt before the police even arrest somebody. So maybe they need to now talk to the club. The police might have to do this job with the club. Fine, the club needs to come out and back, and that is my disappointment with the club. The club hasn't come out to back the coach. They've been silent.
They released a statement, and the statement just said, the statement urged the fans to not attack them.
Have they backed the coach that he's the one, like, he's the coach?
No, they haven't backed him. Those are two different things.
That's the thing. That's the thing. The club hasn't come out to back the coach.
That Matic has their full support.
Yes, so he's going to be the coach. The fans should stick with him and support him. That hasn't been the case.
The video is there. The video is there.
The people who attacked him.
The people who attacked him is there. If you really want to clamp down,
as for those parties, you should deal with them.
It should take more than a week.
All right, cool. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. Your messages are welcome. 055 11 11 997. My director will put it on the screen for you. 055 11 11 997. That's the WhatsApp number. Those of you tweeting us as to the hashtag is Sports Zone. Confirmation of the number there, so get in touch with us. But Sports Zone is sponsored by Hunters. And introducing Hunter's Real Apple Cider, a crisp and refreshing beverage that's perfect for any occasion, made from hand-picked apples and crafted using traditional techniques. Hunter's Real Apple Cider is bursting with natural apple flavors and a hint of sweetness. Unlike other ciders, Hunter's Real Apple Cider is made from 100% pure apple juice with no added sugar or artificial flavors. Whether you're looking for a chilled, refreshing drink on a hot, sunny day or a warming beverage during the colder months, Hunter's Real Apple Cider is the perfect choice. Enjoy it on its own or pair it with your favorite meal for a delicious and satisfying experience. Experience the true taste of real apples in every sip with Hunter's Real Apple Cider. Hunter's Apple Cider has got real apples. Another quality product from Casapreco. Okay, for bulk purchase, you can call Casapreco on 026 235 1251. 026 235 1251. If you want to distribute the real apple cider, that's the number to call. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, I'll read your messages and then we'll do some Ghanaian players abroad and we take you to the Premier League where there was plenty of action, controversial moments and some great victories. Don't go anywhere. All right, this is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. Let me take some of your messages. One says, hi, Fent. This is Robin Hood. No, he said, this Robin Hood-like performances from Liverpool this season is quite awful, and their behavior is just like Lewis Hamilton, who can win simple races, even from pole position these days. Roland Gambero in a Sherman. Wow. You just had to hit two people at the same time. Thank you. This one says, I'm Kweku at Tafo in Shia, so I don't go to the stadium because of betting that the teams are involved in. I don't know if you have any proof of that. So this one says, beautiful girls are not coming to the stadium. Hakim from home.
That's a serious problem.
That's also a very good point.
It's a very serious problem.
That's a very good point.
It's a very serious problem.
That's why he doesn't go to the stadium. Beautiful girls don't come there.
That's an exciting point.
Okay, interesting. This one says, the current GFA team is the cause of the problem. Rex from Abele and Pay. What exactly have they done? This one says, I often disagree with Daniel Cranton because I support Barca and Messi. He knows my choices are better than his preferences, but hey, I like his analysis on sports. Kwesi Dancio with that message. So my good friend Zainab is sending us a reminder that Hazaka's ladies did very well in the Women's CAF Champions League, so we should give them credit there. Okay. Collect your stones. The Women's Champions League. Hazaka's ladies did well.
Hazaka's played what last
2 years ago.
But this year we had a rep.
Yeah, this year
they didn't qualify.
They didn't make.
So Hazaka's did well not because of the system.
Yeah,
they did well because in themselves they are Hazakis.
Yeah,
but so don't extend it.
Yeah, but she's also asking us to talk about.
Yes, Hazakis.
Asking us to talk about women's football and why I'm from Dakwa ladies are not having it easy this season. So anyway, so next week we'll feature women's football heavily.
They've been found
Please,
out.
Mr. Producer, but add women's football highlights. We like. Anyway, Chris Hitting has named his Black Star squad, which means that there was an even keener eye on the performance of Ghanaian players abroad, looking to see how those who were named in the squad did. And our man that's been keeping a good eye on all of them is Benin Abdul Karim. Karim, how are you?
I'm doing great.
I like your shirt. It looks like you are celebrating St. Patrick's Day with the green. Wait. Do you even know what that is?
No.
I knew it. Okay. What have Ghanaian players been up to this weekend?
Well, you just said it. Hilton has named the squad last week.
Yeah.
And what we've done is that we've gone to look at the statistics of each player in the squad. Okay. For the whole season, that's specifically
up until this point.
Yes, specifically the league, their performances in their various leagues, and we've come out with an XI of the best from those 25 players he has named in each position. So, how long has it been since Ghana last won the AFCON?
41 years.
41 years. This team is capable of ending that drought Let's go on.
You are telling us that.
Yes.
So we should, and the source of your confidence is trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Okay. So the whole season, Lawrence Atizigi has been brilliant for St. Gallen. He has played 21 games, 1,819 minutes, 82 saves, conceded 30 goals. If you actually
30 goals considered in 21 games.
No need to panic. If you're actually looking at the quality of
clean sheets are 3, I have to panic.
If you are looking at the quality,
Do you know why we need to panic?
Listen.
Because he's the best amongst the goalkeepers.
That's right. And he has 3 clean sheets, 3 clean sheets
No.
in 21 games.
Yes.
Considered 30 goals.
But if you look at the
hold
goals
on,
is
but
considered,
Mr. St.
and the
Patrick's
quality
Day
of
says we
defense.
should not panic.
yes, listen. If you're actually looking at how many goals he's
So
supposed
you're
to
saying the
concede
numbers don't tell the full story.
per the quality of chances he's
yeah.
facing,
He's doing well.
he's actually supposed to concede at least 36 goals, and he's
Wow.
prevented how many? 6 out of those 36.
What kind of defenders does he have in front of him?
And his team is not doing so bad. They are in the competition for Conference League next season. So Dennis Odoi, he has been there for Club Brugge. Then he has played 23 games, 1,710 minutes, 6 clean sheets in the 23 games he has played, created 6 chances. Actually, he's switching between right back and centre back the whole season. Gideon Mensah, he has been brilliant for AJ Oxlade, and they are fighting relegation. 18 games, 1,607 minutes, 17 chances created.
That's a lot. 17 chances in 18 games
Yes.
for a defender is a lot.
Almost averaging 1 in each game. 11 successful crosses.
Top guy.
Joseph Edu. For me, if you ask me now, he's the best Ghanaian centre back in Europe. I
Most
don't
informed Ghanaian
Yes.
centre back in Europe.
Yes, I don't understand why he's not getting enough playing time with the Black
Are you
Stars.
the coach?
25 games. He's actually the centre back with the most games, the most minutes, almost in everything. He's dominating. 25 games, 2,234 minutes played, 106 clearances, 42 tackles made, 8 clean sheets, the highest among the Black Star centre backs.
Wow.
But I don't know, maybe he may not be playing. Mohamed Salisu, 21 games for Southampton, 1,889 minutes, 151 ball recoveries, 52 tackles made, 22 blocks. Very vital ones.
Harim, we can skip the 1,000-something minutes. We can see. Just the number of matches is enough.
Thomas Partey, we know he's flying at the moment. 22 games, 1,233 passes completed, averaging 56 in a game.
169 ball recoveries.
Yes.
Yeah. That's an engine.
This guy is almost like
So 169 for him, 161
they are
for
almost
Salis.
like they are competing but in different leagues. So we hope the quality they are having, they bring it together for the Black Stars.
Salis has a 92% pass accuracy.
That's the highest among
That
the
is
midfielders.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, interesting to see. It's safe passes.
Safe
It's
passes.
sideways, short passes. But
His job is to retain possession.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on.
It's doing great. Joseph Pencil, the most clinical scorer we have now with the Black Stars. 20 league goal contributions. It's not something small. In 25 games, 10 big chances created, 9 assists. Osman Bukari, Speedman, 21 games, 7 goals,
What
3
has
assists.
happened? Because it seems the goals have dried up, haven't
Yeah,
Because he scored the 7 goals before the World Cup.
after the World Cup, he's actually scored a couple. So
So what has happened? Anyway, let's move on. That's still good. Okay,
Wow.
10 goal contributions.
Mohamed Kudus is also a man in form. 24 games, 11 goals scored, 2 assists, 1 key pass per game.
Hold on. If he scored 10 league goals, how does he have 11 goals? He should have more. 11. He scored how many? 4 Champions League goals.
He's got 11 league goals.
As in, this is league.
He's already-
Overall, he has 18
He actually
goals.
said that was their league.
So overall, he
their
has
league.
18 goals in the
Yeah.
season. So
Okay.
this is just the league. 8 goals and 2 assists. Nyaki Williams, 23 games. He's not scoring. Like in 19 or so games, I guess, he has not scored a goal. 18 shots on target. Conversion rate just a mere 13.51%. 5 goals scored.
It's worth noting that he's not scored a goal since the World Cup.
Yeah, he was only
since
denied,
October
only
last
denied
year.
a goal last night because of a handball from Munai. Yeah, sorry for him.
And he was laughing.
Yeah, so this is the X I am presenting that can.
This is it.
Yes, this Yes.
Well, okay.
No, he says based on numbers. These are the most informed 11 players.
No. What numbers are you looking at?
What? So
Because where is Jordan Ayew?
Jordan Ayew. Who is Jordan Ayew?
Calm down.
Could you please go back to the Kudus? I want to see something. Now, this is why I don't think Kudus has to be anywhere near in midfield.
Give it to them.
For the Black Stars. Nowhere near the middle.
Key pass.
There's an assumption that Kudus is creative, but that is not his game. Because of his skills and ability to dribble, everybody without necessarily looking at his numbers and his game thinks that he is creative. In truth, he isn't. He's very much lethal in and around the box. He's got only one key pass in the area that we say.
Not one key pass. Averaging
averaging one key pass per game. Those key passes per game are stand out to 2 assists. That again tells you about the quality of chances perhaps he's creating or the quality of finishes around him. But we know he's pretty much got some good finishes around him in Ajax. He's assisted only twice and he scored 11 times. That tells the story. He's very much on the end of the finishing of the move than in the middle or starting the move. So nowhere near in number 8, or if you like, in and around the box as a number 10, I don't fancy. As a second striker, perhaps good. As a false 9 off the wings, yes. But he isn't, for me, a creative footballer. That is why sometimes it's frustrating to watch when he's played in deeper midfield.
Okay, let's hear Daniel's beef about the absence of Jordan.
I don't understand why Jordan Ayew is not in this list. Because first of all, you see, the average football fan always loves to look at offensive numbers. And that's what we've done. We've put
offensive players, it's only fair.
No, it's not only fair. This is modern day football. Systems are different. What you might think is good enough for one coach is not good enough for another coach. We need to premise it on how this Black Stars has been playing for a period of time and understand what our wingers are supposed to do. When you look at the numbers from our wide positions, they hardly score, they hardly assist. Their duty, usually, and you see where we've reached as a nation, we don't necessarily play offensive football because usually at this particular point in time, Ghana plays on the back foot. So if you are going to be playing on the back foot, I don't need Joseph Pinso and Osman Bukari running up and down and not tracking back. We saw a similar thing against Brazil, where Kamaldeen left Dennis Odoi.
Yeah.
On paper, it's exciting to see because Kamaldeen is flashier. He's better offensively than Jordan Ayew. But when it comes to when we are premising it on the job of the team, what the team requires, Jordan Ayew should be the first name on that list. So I have a serious problem why Jordan is not there. Based on numbers.
Okay. Have you got Jordan, defensive striker Jordan Ayew? Listen, the other point. I feel like I feel you.
No, I'm not happy. You know, like,
Why are you carrying this? Why are you carrying this?
The other thing though.
Yes.
Why is Kudus playing him here in Naki Williams? And why does Naki Williams have any place in this team?
Karim has not said this is how.
No, based on the numbers.
Based on numbers.
Kudus has scored.
These are the 11 players with the most impressive numbers this season till date in their various positions. That's all he's saying.
Impressive.
That's what he's saying.
Is impressive.
That's it. Offensive players, offensive numbers.
Metrics.
Defensive players, offensive numbers. No, that's why he's done. Is what I'm saying.
No, when it came to Gideon Mensah, we're talking about we're hailing his offensive numbers. I want Baba Rahman there. I need Baba Rahman in that position. Have I told you I want my left back to be
injured? Baba Rahman is injured.
No, that's, you see, relax. All I'm saying is that when it came to offensive players, you say offensive players, offensive numbers. So defensive players, defensive numbers. But why are you giving me 17 chances greater for a left back? But have I told you I want my left back to be running and creating chances?
So you're saying that, in other words, if we're talking Joseph Pinso, we should also look at how many track backs and compare to Jordan Ayew.
How many track backs and compare that to Jordan Ayew? How is he helping his team defensively?
Thank you, Kai. Okay. Thank you very much. Interesting. I don't know about you. Sitcho says he doesn't think Kudus Mohammed should be deployed as a midfielder ever in Ghana. It should be used as a second striker, basically, closest to goal. And he's made reasons, he's explained why. And his numbers themselves, he says, tell the story. I don't know about you. You think we should play him midfield along with Partey and Salis, or play him as a striker, maybe? Let me know. 055 11 11 997. But let's move on to England. That was Leicester City hosted Chelsea. And Chelsea had won 2 games on the bounce against Leeds United and in a decent place.
Yeah, look, when a team is in a ditch like what Chelsea were in, you don't... When they start winning at the 3 points, against Dortmund, I think they were brilliant in that game. They got the 3 points. This game, I think, was separated. It was a difference of quality. Leicester had their opportunities, Chelsea had their opportunities, but Chelsea were just more clinical. The quality of the Chelsea players just came to bear, and the quality of goalkeeping also. That Ward guy, this is his last season in the Premier League. No, seriously.
No, he wasn't great, to be fair.
It's not he wasn't great. He has been poor. Okay. He has been piss poor. How can you go from Schmeichel to Ward? And they made no attempt to rectify the problem in the January transfer window. He's cost them a lot of points this season. Yeah. Seriously, if you are looking at his goalkeeping performance this season, he's been one of the poorest goalkeepers in the league. And it's very painful from a Leicester City point of view that you train Monday to Friday, go into a game like this, and your goalkeeper how can you get beaten from a volley about what, 15, 20 yards out in your near post? Are you serious?
I mean, this is difficult to stop, to be fair.
It's not difficult.
It's acrobatic.
The Kovacic goal is fine, but the Chilwell goal.
But the Chilwell goal.
Question marks about goalkeeping. That you should never be beaten on it.
They've won 3 of them.
Yeah. And like Danny said, you're not expecting them to be flamboyant at this point. Right now, what they need is the feel-good factor to carry momentum, which is just winning games. And they're finding a way to win it. Clearly, there's a bit more of structure and understanding to what they are doing now. And I have a feeling Graham Potter now has what it takes to play the way he wants his team to play, or at least line them up in the way he loves to play, with a 3-back system. We saw him with Brighton when he did it. Good thing is Chilwell is looking sharp and fit again. Yeah, Rich James wasn't well in this game, so he didn't play. But Loftus-Cheek played. But what he's been able to do now is the way he's deployed Kai Havertz. In the last 3 games, he's run the show. Yeah, because it's almost as if this is the very first time under any coach in Chelsea that Kai Havertz has played in his favorite position, where he's not had to compete with the big centre backs, but he's had to come and carry the ball from midfield and feed it through people. So when in this game we saw him play at times behind Joao Felix and Mudryk, so he would pick up the ball and then thread the passes. Against Dortmund we saw, and he's running the game. He's also brilliant breaking the late runs into the box and scoring them. So I think Potter now is beginning to understand some of his players and how to maximize their potential. It's still only 3 games, such a very, very small sample to know exactly what he wants to do, but he's winning.
I think the most impressive thing for me is that finally there seems to be some balance, especially defensively. And that Cucurella, as part of the back 3, is also now working some magic. So, like Sis just said, it seems he's now beginning to find a semblance of exactly how he wants to play. And like Daniel said, wins give players a certain level of confidence that even the most flamboyant style of play wouldn't give them if they are not winners. So all the best for them. Let's go to Arsenal. It was a London derby against Fulham. One of the most exhilarating first half performances I've seen this season. 3 unanswered goals in the first half. Boom. And the game was...
To come in and do a brilliant work when Partey was injured. True. We are seeing the fruits of Trossard and how impressive. And you see, a lot of people forget. I always say this thing. Football fans, seriously, think about this thing. They judge players by the jersey they are wearing.
Right.
Because if you look at the form of Leandro Trossard in the first half of the season, he was literally one of the best players in the league. Yet Arsenal miss out on Mudryk and they see him as a downgrade. Where he's 10 times
he probably should have been first choice.
He probably should have
been Mudryk.
Over Mudryk by far.
I agree.
And he's coming and he's immediately made an impact. And what he's done is he's a sort of player he can play across all the attacking positions and he's very comfortable. Now we saw that when Nketiah was playing, he was having a toll on Martinelli. Now Trossard has come in, he has the ability to interchange. So all the guys at the top there can switch positions and they are very comfortable. So it's very difficult for you to pin down one person and mark this Arsenal attack. And
because Martinelli himself, that's 5 goals in 5 matches.
Exactly. Look, it's crazy. If you watch I think it was a second goal where they passed, they said it was a 23 pass. And the referee decided to add more minutes and go on.
Quick thoughts on this guy, Odegaard. I saw a comment from Jamie Redknapp who says he thinks he's the best midfielder in the league now, even better than Kevin De Bruyne, because he says when he has the ball, there's always this palpable tension. You feel something special is going to happen. I mean, to be fair, at the time he was signed by Real Madrid, he was considered the next big thing. He struggled. But it seems right now we're seeing exactly what Real Madrid saw all those years ago.
Absolutely. And many who saw him when he was very young, they just knew this guy was going to be a top talent. And it's not only about his ability to play the game, but it's about the ability to understand what the manager wants the whole team to do. So the reason why he's Mikel Arteta's captain is because it's his new talent on the pitch. He's able to get onto the pitch and remind Thomas Partey of his duties and what he should do tactically. Jorginho has got the knack for that as well. The one reason why when Mikel Arteta was even at Man City, he wanted Man City to sign Jorginho from Chelsea. And Odegaard is a perfect example of that. He's not only a footballer, but he actually is a coach amongst the players. So his understanding of the game makes it even difficult. And when he plays, You just know he sees things.
All right, let's go to Man United. They had a very troubling weekend. Of course, they recovered really well from this. Was this one, Casemiro getting sent off, and now he's been banned 4 matches in the Premier League, and that's basically because this is his second red card of the season. So 4 games, and United haven't done well without Casemiro. Lots of people have had conversations about this incident. I don't know if he's very straightforward with my guest here. Daniel, look, what's your view? Because there were no goals involved, but this was the key moment in the match. And Casemiro now, 4 matches without him for Man United, it's a big, big deal.
Friends, this thing is not controversial. It's a straight red card.
Yeah?
It's a straight. You see,
so the United fans who are complaining.
I don't like opinions that are based on you because this person wasn't given, my players wasn't given.
So it's called justification.
If I slap you today and everybody say it's fine, it means that if you slap me tomorrow, then slapping is fine. No, what is wrong is wrong. If they made a mistake previously, it doesn't mean they should make a mistake again because it's your player. It's a reckless tackle. It's a very dangerous tackle. And with a bit more force, it could have caused more damage to the player. The rules are simple. You can't show your stats high. It's as simple as that. Once you do it, it's a straight red card. And I'm glad that VAR intervened in this situation. My problem with this game, and I'll take it back to Man City versus Bournemouth, or Bournemouth versus Man City 2 weeks ago, Fulham versus Arsenal on Sunday.
Yes.
Top teams kill off the games early. Man United started brilliantly. They had opportunities. Oh, they were missing. And you see, it's when you are watching teams that want to compete for titles, teams that have the hope of bridging that gap between themselves and the top teams, you need to be clinical. Yeah. It doesn't matter if the chance comes in the first 30 seconds or the last minute. Yeah. You have to be clinical.
Have to take them when
you have to take them when they come. And for the opportunities that Man United spent, it came back to haunt them because you don't know what is going to happen in the game. That is why you need to be clinical. Manchester City learned it harshly a week before the Bournemouth game, and then the Bournemouth game straight halftime they were leading 3-0. Yeah. Arsenal, the first 2-3 opportunities they got bang ball in the back of the net.
Yes.
So for Man United, it's a wastefulness that got to them. Honestly, I felt like this was a game that they could have won even when they went down a goal. Yes, Southampton also got their opportunities, but you can't be playing 10 against 11 and have your opponents carve you open the way Manchester United still did. Right. But their inability to put the ball in the back of the net came back to haunt them again.
Thank you, Daniel. Let me show you the 4 results from the Premier League this weekend. It wasn't great for Liverpool either. They also lost after beating Man United 7-0. Somehow they went and lost to the bottom place team in the league.
That's on Klopp. That's on Klopp.
Yeah.
The midfield he picked was never going to get them anywhere. Basasic, Elliott, and Fabinho. That was never going to work.
Respect.
Nowhere in the Premier League will that midfield beat any team, and he suffered it.
Interesting. All right. Cool. So that's that. This midweek, they have to try and overturn a 3-goal deficit.
Stop. Don't do that.
Against
Don't do that.
There's Champions League football this weekend, okay? Live on 99.7 Joy FM. And the big game, of course, is between Liverpool and Real Madrid. So there are the fixtures. Man City versus Leipzig. It's all to play for because that game, the first leg ended 1-1.
Yeah.
Of course, Porto versus Inter Milan. Romelu Lukaku came in, saved the day there. They take a slim lead.
Still alive.
Yeah, to Portugal. On Wednesday, all eyes at the Bernabeu. That's where Liverpool visit Real Madrid. They lost the first leg 5-2. Real Madrid themselves have not been in the greatest of form, let's be honest. But the Champions League is an entirely different competition for them. Napoli won the first leg. And now they take on Frankfurt again in the second leg, looking to finish the job. Guys,
can I give tips?
Yes.
Man City, straight win. Porto versus Inter, under 2.5. Real Madrid
there
versus
won't be
Liverpool.
goals.
Oh, there will not be goals. Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Real Madrid or draw. Napoli, straight win. Thank me later. They have told you.
That's interesting. Where is my... Please, I won't say it. Don't worry. Let me read some messages. Sicho, do you concur the predictions?
Yeah, I just don't see how there wouldn't be a goal in that Porto-Inter Milan game. I think Porto in Portugal at the Dragão will score. I think Inter Milan are in real danger of maybe being eliminated. They've not been playing well. They were actually lucky to get that 1-goal lead. Porto were really good.
They were good.
Yeah, they were very good. So I just think Porto might just nick it. Apart from that, I might side with Daniel and the rest.
Interesting. Let me read some messages here. I've got like, I don't know, almost 100 of them here. But I'll take a few of them, as promised. Harold Nichols from Joel says, it's wild what the team have done from Arteta out to this. Few saw it, few had the vision, but here we are. Unfathomable is the word that comes to mind. They've made us dream more than we could ever believe. Good evening, guys. Please, on what grounds were the players called for the under-20s? I think the coaches don't follow most of the ongoing leagues in this country, precisely the second division. There's 15-year-old in Medina, Mobile Phone People FC, who is doing extremely well. They also have a left-back who is being in the Black Stars squad, or who should be in the Black Stars squad next year. Not to be biased, but they need to take a look at most of the clubs in the lower tiers as well. Interesting submission from the guys in the studios as well. This one says, I'm Joseph in Doma. This your team is solid. Thank you very much. This one's a Ted Daniel. I just like him. He's most welcome. You don't like him and he's welcome.
Which team is solid? This one?
No, it says you.
No, he's talking about the
because this one without
Official Bajaniba says, good evening, guys. Please be honest with yourselves. Are you really enthused with the footage or coverage of Star Times on our GPL? Not to talk of the Sakasakas pitches. Anyways, the selection of the game plan to win on the Gebe shall determine if indeed
Star Times, I can defend them.
I don't know why my director is arguing with me over. Is that Daniel should mention the things again? He wants to go and bet.
Oh, I got you. Don't worry, I got you, man. I got you.
Sheriff says he's watching us from Techiman. And he said, it is time for the GFA and the government to look at these countries like Morocco, Senegal, how their football have transformed, and also learn from them for our football to also grow. They should develop our pitches and put some concentration in our school games too. Thank you for the good work. Thank you too. Emmanuel from Temasesvento, please, I want you to lay low on Chelsea. Let people keep writing us off. We will soon surprise the world. Thank you very much.
With what?
Ibrahim, monitoring from Smith, says, great show. Fent and Danny, always my favorite. Everywhere you go, I'll go for you. Interesting. This one says, great to see you guys on set, especially Icardi and Danny K. Please, let Icardi explain Barca's situation with the payment of the refs issues. Prince from Asaikwa. In fact, we'll need another show to delve into Barcelona issues. And because yesterday, Gavi's contract he's also being cancelled, so he's registered as a youth player, and he's out of contract at the end of the season. Man City should go and take him. Anyway, let's move on. This one said, you guys are doing great. Keep it up. Danny, you are welcome to Multimedia. And I'm Rabat with that message. Good evening, friend Danny and my best man, Sicho. I'm enjoying your program inside Medina. Keep it up. My name is Kojo. This one says, personally, I stopped going to the stadium because of the washrooms and the dirty seats they expect me to sit on after paying 70 or 100 Ghana for VIP lower. I feel disrespected anytime I go there. Kojo, a champion. And this one says, good evening, host and your panelists. I'm Emeka Akwada Sukumase. Arteta, 100 wins. First managerial post. First in the Premier League. Youngest team in the league. This is what you call greatness. An all-timer. An all-time manager in the making, Mikel Arteta. Take a bow. The future is bright. Okay, we take a bow. On that note, we take a bow on the show. Thank you very much for all of your messages. We appreciate every single one of you for tuning in onto this show. My name is Fentio Tahiru Fentio. Sichu, Philip Ashrim, and Daniel Cranting were my guests here. Until next time, it's always a pleasure to come your way. Lovely evening.